What's up guys, and welcome to today's video where I want to talk about how I would start my e-commerce business from scratch today in 2018 with only $500. Now many people message me about this, like what is your minimum budget that you need to be successful with e-com, with dropshipping, how much should I spend? And for all of you who have a very limited budget, I will now talk about different strategies and how I would really go about it from A to B to C, how I would start my business if I run on a shoestring budget. Because as you know, I always recommend that you have like $1,000 at least to start with. 500 is okay, but you definitely need to do some things different. So let's get started. The first thing that you need to know is when you run on a very short, small budget, the biggest mistake you can do is to only run on paid traffic all the time. So I see this, people that have almost no money to invest, they are only running paid ads, and this is a really bad thing. Technically, you can only test a few products before you run out of money. And why would you do that if you can also use at least some sort of some free traffic sources? So before we start, what I would create first is a niche store. Why would I create a niche store? Because we will need free traffic, and we can almost only build an audience with free traffic by posting and producing content, etc. if we have a niche store and if we have a very certain niche that we can talk about. So imagine if you have a general store, what sort of content do you want to produce? There's almost nothing you can do. But if you have a store about makeup only or fishing supplies or something, you can produce all sort of content. You can post videos to your audience, you can give tips, you can communicate with others, and these are all things that you can only do with a niche store when you want to use free traffic. So step one, we come up with a niche, or I would come up with a niche that makes a lot of, it would make a lot of sense if it's a passionate niche, because then the content becomes more powerful. But the point is, it is a niche, and ideally it's a sub niche, so a very specific niche. This is the first step. The second step is that I make sure my store is fully optimized before I spend $1 on advertising. I'm always amazed when people that run on a shoestring budget anyway, they don't spend more than 30 minutes to build their store, and then their money is gone. So the point is, invest your first dollar only when you are sure that you did everything you could to optimize your store. And this means you set up your theme, you add all your products, you get the most out of every single product by having great descriptions, great images. So everyone who's spending less than 2 minutes on one product is definitely doing something wrong. Now, the point is, especially if you run a niche store, you don't need 200 products in your store to be successful. You can definitely run with 5 or 10 or 20. And then with such a small amount of products, you can definitely dedicate at least 10 or 20 minutes per product, writing a very good product description, creating having some really good images. And if you really don't get any good image for your product, then the last option is to buy it yourself and do some great images and some great photos yourself. But the point is, in that second stage of building your store, you need to do everything you can to max it out. If you have a small budget, it means that you need to invest more time, because you cannot run on a small budget and only invest a few hours. The less money you have to spend, the more time you have to invest, which means you should do all that you can to build out your store. The third point now is that we come about marketing. And with marketing, having only $500, I have a very clear image or a very clear idea of what I want to do. And I would do a mix of 3 things. Or, well, technically these are 4 things, but 3 main things. First of all, influencers and affiliates. So I want to find people that are willing to promote my products for me, because if I don't have enough money to always go ahead and use paid ads, it will be hard. But if I find influencers and affiliates, it will be easier. Second, I will, like I said, use content marketing. So I will post on Instagram daily. If you have such a small budget, you can invest a lot of time, which means you can easily post 1 or 2 hours a day on, I don't know, Instagram, Facebook groups, all kind of things, maybe even forums and somewhere on the internet. Doesn't sound that sexy, but it's exactly what you need to do if you don't have the money. And the third is Google Ads. So even on $500, you can run profitable Google ads. And here, of course, we wouldn't go to like YouTube and display, because normally you need more money to do that successfully. but I would do shopping and eventually also Google search. So these three things, influencers and affiliates, content marketing on Instagram, Facebook groups, etc., and Google Ads, especially Google Shopping and maybe also Google Search. So for content marketing, you need no money. So you just have to go ahead, invest your time posting stuff, images, posting content on your Instagram every single day, going to other Instagram profiles, DMing them, commenting on their pictures, and etc, etc. Going into Facebook groups, you can join like 10, 20, 30 Facebook groups in your niche, posting stuff there, helping other people, and occasionally also linking back to your store. When it comes to influencers and affiliates, of course, you don't just go ahead and say, hey, can I get a shout out for 24 hours and I give you $100, right? This doesn't make sense. You try to find those that work either for a free product, which is great, or even better, they want nothing up front and they are okay with promoting you without anything in return, just getting commissions on your sales. Now this is very, very hard to find, don't get me wrong, you won't find those people, but even if you can just go with those with free product, you can normally save a lot of money if you just send them a product for like 30 bucks, you sell it for 100, so they think they made a great deal, they post some content with your product, and you will get in front of way more targeted eyeballs than you could if you just go with like Facebook and pour your money into it. And with Google Shopping, it's also very clear what I would do. I would set up my my shopping feed with all the products you have, all the products I have. As I said, you will probably not have more than 30 products. I would lay them all out in the feed, and then I would think, okay, which of them has the highest chance of success? First of all, the most useful ones are normally the most expensive ones. So throw everything out that is less than 30 bucks or so, because you want to be profitable as soon as possible, because you just have such a small budget. The last thing you want is that you wait like 3 days and then you make a sale for 30 bucks and you make like $5 profit. So throw everything out that is too cheap. Make a list of the most expensive products you have in your store. These are usually the best for you to target on Google Shopping, because as soon as you make one single sale, you are able to get a lot of money back and you get like enough profits to advertise for another week or so. Of course, it depends on the individual product, and before that you should do an analysis of your competitors. So do you have competitors in your niche all over the place on Google Shopping? Like, do you have people advertising very similar products? Do you have people advertising at similar or even better price points? But if it looks okay, like if there are just a few people, if they don't sell exactly what you sell, etc., you should definitely go with it. The thing is that because we fully maxed out our online store before, we can make sure that every single click or every single person that gets to our store is somewhat ready to buy, because we have the shopping ad, which means they know exactly what we sell. And in the next step, we made sure our store looks great and feels great, which means we add an Instagram gallery, etc. Of course, we can always only be sure 100% whether our store works if we make sales, but the point is, many stores can be optimized before you even start putting traffic into it. Alright, so now we went through 3 important steps. We picked the niche, we set up our store, we started with marketing, and until now we didn't spend too much money, right? Probably 29 bucks for Shopify, a little bit for marketing. The next question now is how do we get people back to our store, and how can we keep engaging them? And this can be done through various things. First of all, make sure that you have an email sequence in place. Make sure that you have a very enticing sign up for a newsletter or something, but don't just say something like sign up for our newsletter, right? Nobody cares about that. Say something like get $5 or $10 off your next order by signing up for our exciting VIP newsletter or something. Or you can say something like join our exclusive fisherman club. If you sell fishing stuff, join our exclusive fisherman's club and get a free 10% discount gift coupon or something like that. The point is, make it sound a little exclusive, make it sound a little special, and don't just say join us, you will get a discount, or join us without any incentive. This doesn't give you signups. And all these people that don't buy but join your email list, you can send them emails later on, like 6 hours later, hey, you watched this item, don't you want to buy it, etc. But also, it will help those who are on the fence to actually check out because you give them this coupon. The second thing, or the second way to get people back, is with Messenger. And here you can use, actually for email and for Messenger, you can use Recard. And Recard helps you to send people messages on Facebook, or even desktop, also browser notifications, push notifications. If they abandoned their cart, you can set like 1 hour after they abandoned their cart, you send them a message on Facebook, etc. Because we only have a very small amount of traffic because of our limited budget, so we have to maximize every single visitor. And if we let them go without bringing them back with, like I said, email, messenger, notifications, etc., we are just wasting money. The other thing that we should do is dynamic remarketing on Google. You can also use remarketing on Facebook. It doesn't really matter that much which you choose. From my experience, Google remarketing tends to be a little less expensive. So you would install the Google remarketing tag on your site, and then you can follow people wherever they go on the web, and you use dynamic remarketing to show them the products that they have checked out or that they have watched, so that they get back and purchase later on. This is extremely important. Like I said, everyone who leaves your site without buying is a loss that you could potentially make up for. So make sure that you install your remarketing tag on day one, so that you're not losing on a single visitor. And now in the last step, of course, you want to do content optimization. So the best thing, of course, is that we get sales, and then we can determine which things are going well. But you need to know upfront what's going up. So install Google Analytics upfront and install Hotjar upfront, which is a great tool to see what people are doing on your site. And use both tools to find out like which traffic sources produce visitors that stay on your website for a long time. Which are the campaigns that run really well? Which are the product pages that people just watch for 5 seconds and then leave? Which are the pages that your visitors get to in general? How long does it take for your website to load? Etc, etc, etc. These are all things that you can answer with Google Analytics. Combining it with Hotjar is even more effective. Both tools are free. And if you go through all these steps and then layer this optimization on top of it, you can say that you did everything you can to max out your chances, even though you're running with such a small budget. Now, guys, don't get me wrong. I know that if you don't want to do all this free traffic stuff and content marketing, etc., it can be tempting to just pour everything into Facebook ads or everything into Google ads. But let me tell you, if you only have $500 to spend, this is hard, because you can spend $500 very, very quickly, and even without making a single sale if you're unlucky. So this is definitely something that can happen. Therefore, make sure that you do think about free traffic. It can definitely help. I know more than enough people that make regular sales without ever spending money on advertising. In fact, we also ran online stores where we didn't do any paid traffic at all in the beginning, where we didn't know about like Facebook ads and Google ads, etc. So this being said, enormously important. I hope that you will keep this in mind. Let me know in the comments what you think about it. Let me know if you tried free traffic sources before. Let me know whether you have a budget of $500 or more, whether you want to try these things out. It would be very interesting for me to know. So put them in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and please subscribe if you want to see more. And yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will hopefully see you in the next video, guys. Bye bye.